Welcome back to the show, Reds. This is the Shankly Sessions, the Liverpool podcast we bring you each and every week on the upper tier. If you could go out to YouTube, smash that subscribe and bell notification button, and of course, drop a like on the video. We'd really appreciate you in our push for 1,000 subs. I think we're on about 650 at the moment. So anyone out there who could share and sub and do a guy a favour, we'd really appreciate it. I'd have to say it's an absolute beautiful, glorious day here in the sunny southeast of Ireland. Wicklow, the garden of Ireland, really shown itself today. Beautiful, like a summer's day out there. But where am I? I'm in here delivering a Shankly Sessions preview. Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest coming at you Saturday, 3 o'clock. I have to say, very interesting stuff over the last few days with Liverpool and stuff like that. And what a win against Leeds there on Monday night. Absolutely phenomenal. Great result. Great performance. Some of it a little bit lackluster in the beginning, but certainly it shaped up very quickly. A lot of talk this week going on about all this invert this and invert that and invert the other. And, you know, it's very simple. We start out with a 4-3-3 and we finish with a 3-5-2 with Gakpo dropping deep into the midfield and Trent meeting him halfway. It's not rocket science, really. You know, it's something we should have been doing, really, isn't it, if you think about it? But we've a decent crew of personnel back as well, so we're not missing too many bodies. We will bring you the latest team news. Of course, we'll bring you our predictions as always and stuff like that. But before we get into the actual match and the lineups and all that kind of stuff, look, there's no secret on the lineup. It probably picks itself, doesn't it? Look at Klopp, as stubborn as he is. He's not going to change a winning formula like that up, is he? Some guys will be getting minutes and stuff like that, but the likelihood we'll stick with it. And it's kind of nice to welcome Nottingham Forest back. Last time we had them back at Anfield, I think it was 1998, and we've beaten them there the last 4 times we've played them. The last one coming 1998, as I said, Michael Owen on fire that day, 5-1 demolition of Forest. We've also been pretty good playing at home this season and stuff like that as well, so you would expect a raucous Anfield crowd. Ben, my son, is heading over last minute, got a ticket. He's heading over on Saturday, doing a day trip, heading over to the Forest game, so that'll be electric. So I might try and get him on. For when the team news and stuff breaks. We'll see, can we go live from him in the ground and see, can he bring us all the latest information around Liverpool at the moment. Before we get into the game, as I said, folks, I like to do this now on the shows as well. I'd like to have a quick chat, first of all, about the midfield and the guys we've been linked with, and get your thoughts on that, how you feel about it. Who are the midfielders that we really want to come in? What level of midfielder we want to come in? And it ties in with the other thing that's been coming out and been spoken about today and yesterday, is really this whole talk on the full back situation. Are we going to go in and sign a right back and then push Trent more forward into that midfield situation? So then a lot of the talk that's been coming out is that we're probably going to sign 2 midfielders. Does that mean it's going to be 2 midfielders and obviously Trent moving in there? So then we obviously sign a right back. Who are the right backs that are out there that are available? What level? It has to be top quality level if that's the move that we make. We can't afford to be going out and not buying that quality. Don't need to be signing any more projects. Need to be signing quality in these key positions if they're the moves we're going to make. But we'll bring you all the latest team news. We'll bring you all the latest preview, current form, all that kind of good stuff, and then we'll give you our prediction towards the end. But safe to say, we're back playing some quality football at the moment, and it was a joy to watch that Leeds game once we got into our rhythm that we spoke about in the match reaction. Took a bit of time to get there, but once we got there, and as I've said before, when we find our rhythm, there's not many teams in the world that can live with us. It's just unfortunate we didn't find our rhythm earlier in the season. But having said that, let's finish the season out strong. And we'll talk also about where we're at in relation to the top 4 race. Could we see it happening? You know, look at our run in and stuff like that. Probably our biggest game we have left is probably Spurs. So we have a, dare I say, without tempting fate, touch wood and all that kind of stuff, we have a reasonable run in. Now, I wouldn't have called it that a few weeks ago based on how the season has gone, but it looks like we've a favourable run in and stuff like that. We know we have Forest on Saturday. Then we know Newcastle and Spurs are playing each other on Sunday, so there's a chance to close the gap. But let's see, let's not get too ahead of ourselves here, because we know earlier in the season what Nottingham Forest did to us. but that was a different time and a different team, Reds. So let's get and talk about these midfielders. Of course, we're being linked with everyone under the sun. You can see, folks, there in the slide as well, there's a QR code there. If you want to scan that QR code, that will bring you straight into our TikTok account where we're dropping shorts there on a daily basis and videos and having a lot of fun out there with Reds fans and stuff like that. So if you want to join that, scan the QR code, head out there, drop a follow on it. We'll have the crack. Henry's in the comments. How are you, my man? What's the story? Hope you're doing well. Hope the channel's going well. Dropping all that content as always. I'm all good, pal. I had a real good day today. I did a lot of work, a lot of business work, did a lot of podcast work, did a lot of outside work. So I got lots done today. I had a very productive Thursday, I have to say. But these are just some of the people we've been linked with and spoken about and stuff like that. Of course, Alexis McAllister seems to be one of the hot buttons at the moment. Nicola Barella, Moise Caicedo, and obviously Mason Mount seems to be very high up as well. One that I've expressed my opinion of, and of all the midfielders that we're linked with, and we're linked with probably about 20 at this stage. Of all those midfielders that we're linked with, Mason Mount is well down the list for me. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. I don't know. I just look at that Mason Mount that people are talking about from 2-3 years ago or whatever it is. I don't know. Does that Mason Mount still exist? If that Mason Mount comes to Liverpool, can Klopp regenerate that Mason Mount? Do we need to be bringing in a project, or do we need to be actually bringing in something that's ready, steady, go type of thing? You know what I mean? I don't really want to be getting into projects of trying to reinvent the wheel again and play big money and all that kind of stuff. Henry's in. I'm good, Niall. It's been a nice day. Barella, McAllister, and Caicedo. That's it. Yeah, I don't know whether we get all of them or not, Henry, but I suppose then again, we've already said that the transfer policy and what we're going to go for is going to be dictated by potentially the change in the formation and all those other good stuff that they're working on in the background. And we're starting to see signs of it already in the last 2 matches. And it has reaped rewards. We've certainly looked really, really good. Second half against Arsenal, we absolutely battered them back into their half. And Leeds, it was coming. There was a hiding coming, and Leeds are on the end of it. And as I said, I'm not trying to get too gassed about the Leeds result because, no disrespect to Leeds or anything like that, but they're in serious trouble this season. They got pumped the week before by Crystal Palace, and made Palace look like prime Barcelona. And it's a real concern as well. You look at Meslier the other day. Body language is horrific. You look at a lot of those Leeds players, they look absolutely battered and beaten up like they've gone 12 rounds of Tyson Fury. They look in a bad way. We have got to get our business done swiftly. Yeah, and I think that's why there's a lot of talk there at the moment. There's a lot of stuff I think being worked on at the moment. I mean, there's a lot of talk out there that we've made contact with players' agents and all sorts of stuff. So we tend to do our business fairly quickly. We're not going to get into bidding wars with people. We're going to move pretty quick. We know what we need to bring in, and then we need to have a strong pre-season. And once we've moved out the players we want to move out, and we have the players in place, we have an idea of the different formations and the options that we have and all that kind of good stuff. We can go off, had a good pre-season, set the scene, and hit the ground running next season. Put this horrible season behind us. And wouldn't it be lovely if we could do it with a top 4 spot? Be incredible for Liverpool to achieve a top 4 spot. But yeah, let me know. I mean, who would you like in the midfield? Who would you think of going in there? As I said, Mount for me would be very way down the list in terms of midfielders that are available. And that's no disrespect to him, but I think to be honest, looking at it, I think he wants out of Chelsea for kind of all the wrong reasons, really, in terms of his new position and stuff like that and where he wants to go. So I'm not too sure. My guess is Mason Mount probably stays at Chelsea. I'd be surprised if he moves on. But we shall see. So yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. Let me know what you think. I think Barella for me would be outstanding. You've seen him again for Inter and stuff like that. And pressure now, big pressure on Inter and AC Milan after that ruling today with Juventus getting their 15 points back, shot them up into the Champions League spot. So real pressure on Inter and AC Milan now in terms of Champions League football. Must be an absolute sickener for them as well. It boggles my mind, that whole Italian league and stuff like that. It's crazy. So, if we're talking fullbacks and we want to talk this right back position, there's also talk of this as well today. Like I said, QR code there for you if you want to join our TikTok page. Well, we've got Jed Spence in there, who hasn't had a good time at Spurs at all. Certainly a very talented boy, a very talented footballer. Is he someone that we would bring in? He's not happy at Spurs at all. And would Spurs be happy to let him go? He's been out on loan and stuff like that. The other two that I picked out was Dumfries, who I think is a quality baller, and he can play that right back position. He's kind of a versatile player as well, which would be nice for Klopp. So you have Dumfries there, but then you also have Napoli's De Lorenzo, who we've seen up front, close and personal, who's a quality baller as well. And this is what I'm talking about. If we're going to make a huge decision like this is a season-defining decision. If you're going to move Trent and you're going to drop back into the right back position and stuff like that and sign a right back, you really, really, really have to go for real quality. Can't be a project. But there are three of the guys that kind of spring to mind when I was thinking about it today. So again, let us know your thoughts on that. Henry, I have live at 9 p.m. talking about football agents. Oh, nice. Drop the link in, Henry, as well. If you want to drop the link to your channel and the link to that show, drop it into the chat there for people if you want. Not a problem. Bang it in there. So that's kind of my thoughts at the moment on the midfield. If we're going for two and then we're going to do a right back and then we're going to move Trent, that's fine. I'm okay with that so long as the quality is right. If we're not going to go for that and we're going to go for three midfielders and play kind of the way we are at the moment with Trent in a right back, but not really in a right back, kind of what we seen the other night against Leeds and second half against Arsenal. So let's see what way we're going to go with this. It'll be interesting to do it. But let's get into this preview. As I said, Nottingham Forest, fabulous club, steeped in history. Love Nottingham Forest. Said it at the start of the season. Was absolutely delighted that Forest came back up. I also like Stevie Cooper. I don't know what it is. There's something endearing about Stevie Cooper, isn't it? But it's he's under pressure at the moment. He got the backing of the board there a few weeks ago, but results haven't been good at all. Really, really struggling at the moment. And it's like, I don't know, have they ran out of ideas at this stage? Brendan Johnson, I'm a big fan of. Gibbs White, I'm a big fan of. Some tidy players in there. Of course, Neko is in there as well, who's started out having a good season for them, but a lot has fallen away. There seems to be a lack of once they hit into that bottom three, there seems to be a lack of energy about them now, that energy that they had earlier in the season. And even the game against United the other day, even though they really, really struggled, you know what I mean? You look at United, and I know you can turn around and go, you can pinpoint to the Harry Maguire handball that wasn't given and stuff like that and all, but in true, Keylor Navas has been saving their rear ends really in terms of having real thumps and stuff like that. Again, you're in a situation where your goalkeeper is the man of the match a number of games and stuff like that. You're in real trouble because you know you're under the cosh. But this is the trouble that they've had. So if you look at what's been going on, and let's see, we know what happened in the Leeds game. We know what happened in the Forest game. And like I said, 1998 is the last time they were at Anfield. We've won the last four clashes on the bounce against them there at home. We have a real good home record at the moment. 1998, a 5-1 demolition, of course. Mike alone scored 4 in a 5-1 demolition of them. So history would suggest current form at the moment, Liverpool, Noah's Ark, 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws. But the draw against Arsenal was impressive in the manner in which we came back and the manner in which they relented. And then, of course, the win against Leeds was absolutely phenomenal and great to see the likes of Luis Diaz back and Thiago and players like that. And we can see when we get most of our full complement of players back, there's lots of options there for Jurgen. And how excited was Jurgen Klopp in the dugout when you seen his reaction there in the 93rd or 4th minute at 6-1. And like, he's just losing his mind with these 4 or 5 lads chasing down Leeds players, harrying and pressing them. We haven't seen that all season. And he said after the game in his reaction, he said it's the best we've played in terms of our counter press and attack and all that kind of stuff. So great to hear that. For Forest, not nice reading at all. 1 draw in the last 6, 5 losses, the draw coming at Wolves. So not great form for them. Team news. Let's take team news. For Liverpool, of course, we know Luis Diaz is back. Not too sure about whether we play him on the right or not. You know what I mean? I don't know what the thinking was there. I know he just wanted to get him minutes and stuff like that. But Luis Diaz on the left is where that man belongs, cutting in and unleashing that rifle of a right foot. Unbelievable. But we know he's back. We know that Thiago's back, so we've a decent complement of players. Okay, we know Keita is out. Naby Keita is out. Many times have I said that. Every match reaction at this stage. We know Stefan Bietic is out with the abductor problem. Calvin Ramsey's out with a knee. Other than that, we've a decent complement. Curtis Jones played well the other night as well. Had a decent game. Thiago came on, looked good. But for Cooper, such a dynamic when you look at this team news on this one, because this team news, if you look at Forest team news, it was like us earlier in the season, a whole laundry list of guys with problems. So I'll go through it. Give me a moment on this, because Forest have an unbelievable amount of injuries, and it's just crazy when you think about it. So for Forest, absolute crisis at the moment. So Bianconi is out with a knee, Richards is out with a calf, Wood, Bolly, and Kouyaté are all out with thigh problems. They're all in the infirmary, as it says here. Ryan Yates has a shoulder issue. Aurier is unspecified. He just can't play football, can he? That's his injury, I'd imagine. No messing even there. Dane Henderson is out with a thigh and Scarpa with a knee. They all need assessing, may or may not be available to get the all clear. So big problems there for Cooper. Manpower wise, if you look at potential starting lineups, I'll give you the Forest one first. Obviously, you're going to go in there with Navas, Felipe, McKenna, Niate, Williams, Danilo, Mangala, Freuler, Lodi, Johnson, and Gibbs White. That's what they're going in with. So if you look at our lineup, I was doing a nice little graphic for our lineup. I hope you appreciate the graphics we're doing. Henry says, I can do an oil. Yeah, drop it in there, Henry. We'll get people shuttled over there. If we play like we played second half against Leeds, we are shoe in for 3 points and raining goals. Absolutely. And that's what we want to see, isn't it? We want to keep that confidence building. But this is what I've gone in terms of the lineup. So there's no real difference in terms of the personnel. I don't expect him to change it up. The only difference, what you see in here in this lineup, is kind of Robbo, Van Dijk, and Konate kind of slip into a tree. Trent is obviously normally down here on the side of Konate there in a back four. But what he's doing is he's sort of concertini in the midfield in there into a kind of a diamond with Trent on the periphery. So you got Fabinho in there, you got Curtis on the left, you got Hendo on the right. You've got Cody Gakpo dropping into that midfield deep to pull the strings. And you've got Trent on the periphery here doing magical things with Mo Salah in terms of supply and link-up play and stuff like that. And that's how it looked the other night. It looked really on song there, you know. Jota, of course, who had a fabulous performance against Leeds. Badly needed. He's been hounded with injuries over the last year and really, really unlucky and has struggled at times in the team, to the point where we were nearly questioning ourselves, and there was talk he was being linked with a move away to Newcastle, all sorts of stuff coming out that he was the fifth guy in a five-man front line and all this kind of stuff. So, but never Diogo goals is Diogo goals. So never rule him out. So, but it was interesting. Redbird's in the comments. How are you, Redbird? I'm all good, man. Had a great day today. And how do Henry? Good to see you there, man. But yeah, it was an interesting effect, wasn't it, that you kind of start off with a 4-3-3. That's how it looks on paper. Team gets set up against you from that kind of point of view, and all of a sudden, just like that, you switch it up and you go into like a 3-5-2. And Gakpo as well, really good at dropping deep the way Bobby does as well. Picks up the ball and tears up the ground with that big stride that he has as well, going by players for fun and stuff like that. And I think Forest could have their hands full Saturday at 3 o'clock with this kind of lineup. These guys, they have the bit between their teeth now. The confidence is kind of back. Dare I say, normally when we've gone out this season as well and we've kind of pumped the side, we have followed it up with an absolute disaster. So just want to be careful about that as well. Henry, big up, Red, hells yes. So let's put in a real good performance again on Saturday, get the 3 points on the board, and then listen, we can't affect what's ahead of us until we play Spurs or later on. But let's see how it goes. Just keep on putting 3 points on the board and see where it gets us. If it gets us at the top four, I'll be absolutely ecstatic, because we were totally rowed off. So that's what I'm looking for in terms of our lineup, lads. Let us know what you think of the lineup. Yeah, he wasn't. You're right, Redbird. He wasn't good first half at all. Made 15 missed passes, but made up for it with 2 goals. Yeah, second half performance was much better. But I think that was the feeling all round until we scored a few goals and stuff like that. It was a bit of a struggle really and stuff like that. And again, we got lucky as well with the first 2 goals. You know, the Trent for me, 100% is a handball. If I'm looking at that the other way, we 100% want a handball for that. Going to flick the elbow out for it, but got away with it. The second one as well is a lovely finish on Mo Salah, but I suppose you'd argue, should Meslier do better on that one? Who knows? But they're the two that kicked it off, and then after that, I know Leeds got a goal back with Sinistera, and it was just a mess from Konate. Really, fairly freaky from that guy. He's normally solid as a rock. But Henry's in, yeah, it's going to be a special game for many reasons. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The history between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest as well. And as I said, Forest have a great history and a great pedigree and stuff like that. You know, they really are a fallen joint, but they're a great club with great supporters. And you know, when you think about all the years down there with Clough and stuff like that, and of course we signed his son. Remember, Nigel played for us, wasn't a bad baller at all. So yeah, there's a lot of history there between us and stuff like that. Lads, let us know what you think of the lineup. Do you think he'll just go with the same? Is he going to stick with the same and then just concertina it into the 3-5-2? Or is he going to go with the 4-3-3? Is it different personnel? Will he swap people out? What's your favourite game against Forest? God, that's an interesting one. I tell you, I did enjoy the last one, in fairness, with Michael Owen. The last one with Michael Owen was a pretty special game. Michael Owen wasn't he sensational for a small dude? He was just sensational, like absolutely sensational. But yeah, let us know your predictions as well, lads. We're getting into prediction time at this stage. I think we're all going for a Liverpool win. I'd like a clean sheet as well. Because I'd like to see if we do change it up and go into that 3-5-2. I'd like to see how the defense handles the likes of Brennan Johnson and Gibbs White and stuff like that. They're two decent ballers and stuff like that. Now we should have enough there between Fabinho, Marshall, and the line across in front, and then having Van Dijk and Konate there as well. We should be okay. But I'd like to see as well on Saturday. I want Trent to continue that hard work that he put in against Leeds as well. Covered every blade of grass the other night. Have you heard about the huge banner Forest fans have made for the game, asking to ban fans from chanting about tragedies? It also has a huge badge for the 97 Angels we lost. Gotta respect that. Absolutely. This is what I'm saying, Redbird. They're just Forest fans. There's a class to football fans and stuff like that. And Forest fans they're that cream of that class and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And look, it wouldn't surprise me at all. You know, it's a club that understands football, you know, and it's just, you know, they're a special club. They really are a special club, Nottingham Forest. And you know something, I hope they don't go down. I hope they come out of it, but we can't afford to be helping them this week. But I hope they don't go down. I do. I've said it. I've had Forest fans on the show a couple of times. I've had them in the chat. I've had them, you know, I've had them afterwards when we do shorts and stuff like that and all. They're very supportive of the channel. Great bunch of people and stuff like that. But a very knowledgeable football fan base as well. And they know when it's time. When it's time to mark and respect something, it's really time to mark and respect something. They know what's what. Redbird's going for a 3-1 for the pool. Interesting. I was going to go with a 3-0. Hoping we keep a clean sheet. I just want to see what that dynamic is in the defence. Does it work as well as it did against Leeds? Henry, yes, I have. There is no need for vile chanting at any ground. It's ignorant immaturity and hatred. Absolutely. I mean, look, we've spoke about this a million times. And for me, the most important thing in this is what people have to be aware is there's people who'll be sitting in Anfield on Saturday, 3 o'clock match time, who have been directly affected by the Hillsborough disaster. not like none of us. We've all been affected by it as fans of this club and the club and everything else. But there's actual people who will be there in the ground who were directly affected by this. And I think it's really, really, really important, that you take that in and you remember that. And like, I don't know why people even think this way. I don't know how people get into a mindset to go to a match and it comes across them to occur that they should be chanting anything about a disaster like that. And anyone who does it, it's right. I think what they should do, they should make it. There's talk at the moment they're trying to make it an actual a hate crime and stuff like that. And that's the way it should be. And anyone who sees that going on should report that directly to a steward, whether you're an away fan or a home fan. There's no need for that in football at all. And it's really, really hurtful. And there's people who this day still hurting very much from that tragedy. It's not easy to get over something like that. It's horrific, really. I can't imagine what it's like. My son Ben is going to the match on Saturday. My world would be destroyed if he didn't come home from that game. My world would fall asunder. I don't know how I deal with it. The bravery of those people that have dealt with that Hillsborough disaster all their lives. I don't know where they have found the strength to do it. It's remarkable, really. You know what I mean? Absolutely remarkable that they've been able to do it. It's lifetime ban going to solve the issue. Is lifetime ban? Absolutely. Absolutely. I keep on saying this. I keep on saying this about the tragedy chance. I keep on saying it about the racism. I keep on saying about all these things. If we're going to keep on taking people like this and give them a little slap on the wrist with a fine or a 2-game ban or a 5-week ban or whatever it is out of a stadium and all this kind of stuff, no one's going to care. You seen it the other day. There's Del Boy. Del Boy's in. How are you, Del Boy? Good to see you. Big up, Noel. Big up, Del. Check out Del's channel as well. Great channel. But you can see it even the other day. The boys spoke about the other day. The absolute vile abuse that Saka got for missing that penalty the other day is absolutely disgusting. The person posting that is not a human being. They are disgusting and they should be locked up. They should be made an absolute show of. And the biggest problem here at the moment with all this as well is social media. These people are allowed to hide behind these platforms. And I'm telling you now, no one should be on a social media platform unless they're verified by their ID through their passports or whatever it is. I'm telling you, and that's the only way to sort this. It's absolutely scandalous that you can hide behind that wall after posting that stuff out and destroying a guy. And look, I wouldn't even mind you're talking about Saka. He's one of Arsenal's best players. Like, he's been unbelievable this season. He missed a penalty. So what? Get over it. It's not the end of the day. It's not something you should be coming out of. It's absolutely disgusting. Henry, big up Del Boy. Absolutely. I mean, what people forget as well is at the end of the day here, even though we're all football fans and we all have our own teams and stuff like that, there's the human element of this as well. You know what I mean? Okay, you're going to get hyped up. You're going to get like Del Boy and the lads. They're all hyped up about Arsenal. They're in a title race and stuff like that. The first time in God knows how long. They're getting excited about it, but they're getting nervous about it as well. And any little thing kind of triggers them and stuff like that. But what triggers you to do that to that level? You know what I mean? What sort of a human being goes there? It's disgusting. It's uncalled for. It's no place in society for it. Ever. Not even now. Ever. I just don't know how people do it. And I can't understand or fathom in 2023, guys. Help me out here. How in 2023 do people still go in on people's skin color and all? It's absolutely shocking. I just don't get it. I cannot understand it. I've never understood it and I can't understand it. Henry, folks, is 1 from 110 subscribers. Please go over there and subscribe to his channel. Get him up to 110. Come on, let's keep this push going now for Henry. Get him up there. Guys doing content all the time. Show your appreciation for the guy. Especially now that we're coming into the summer, myself and Dale and guys like that and Henry, we're all here pushing content out all the time and stuff like that. We'd love to be sitting outside in the sun or going for a walk in the pier and having an ice cream or whatever it is and stuff like that. But we're here pushing content out for you. Do us the service of liking the video, subscribe to all the channels, all that kind of stuff. Show your support. It doesn't cost you a thing. It doesn't cost you anything. We're here all year long dropping content about our teams, giving you views of everything that we think and what we think about what's going on and stuff like that. Come on, look after the guys and support all the channels and all the content out there. Doesn't matter whether we agree on stuff or disagree on stuff. We're here and we're doing it because we love our club, stuff like that. So getting into, after that speech now, I'll get down on my soapbox and stuff like that. But anything to do with those hate chants, I get very emotional, guys. I go over to the Hillsborough. The first thing I say to Ben, you cannot understand your club unless you understand your history and where you've come from. And the first thing I say to Ben when he goes over there, whether I'm with him or not, your first port of call when we follow Liverpool is we go and we get either a scarf or a badge or a token or a pendant or something like that. And what we do is we go over and we put it on the memorial. A show of respect for those people that lost their lives following this club that we love. So your first port of call, no matter who it is, if you're visiting Anfield, your first port of call should always be to the Hillsborough Memorial. That should set your day. That should set your day. 97 people who gave up their lives for this club, and countless hundreds of other people who were affected by it, and thousands of fans, millions of fans worldwide. Show your respect and go over there as you do. We seen it with the Arsenal fans there last week and stuff like that. And we also seen it with Arteta and with Odegaard paying their respects. Big up to Arsenal on that point of view and stuff like that. Niall, you have a way with words. Point of the Irish whinging its way to your via Royal. It's on the way via Royal Mail. Point of the Irish winging its way to you via Royal Mail. Yeah, absolutely. Henry, I'm very passionate about the club and stuff like that. Ben's heading over on Saturday to the Nottingham Forest game. The first thing I will do is I will give Ben a few quid to pick up some sort of a token off one of the stalls outside, and he will place that on the memorial for me. I do it every single time. We've bought the tile. We have the tile on the Champions Wall. Myself and Ben, if you ever want to see our pictures there, we're right under the great man Stevie Gerrard's captain's armband. We're right underneath that. Both myself and Ben have a picture on there for life. It's our first time. It's a picture from the first time we went to Anfield and stuff like that. Great pictures, stuff like that. Great memories. And we're leaving our own little legacy there. So when I'm gone and Ben brings his kids over to Anfield, he'll be able to bring them to the Champions Wall and go, "Stage your granddad, he used to bring me over all the time," and stuff like that, you know. So that's how we feel. That's what Liverpool is about. That's what it means to us as fans. You know, it's a big thing to me and a big thing in my life. I followed Liverpool all my life. Love the club, love the city, love what we're all about. Entrenched in all this stuff. Win, lose or draw. I love Liverpool Football Club. Always have. So, folks, I'm going for a 3-0. So that has been your preview. Hope we can bring home the bacon on Saturday and get the 3 points. Put a little bit of pressure on Newcastle and Forest and we see what happens. I will be back Saturday at some stage with a match reaction to the Forest game. As always, I do. Win, lose or draw. I'll also be back tonight at 9:30 for Thursday Tier Talk. Dazzler will be joining me. We're a half an hour late tonight because it's his daughter, the beautiful Tallulah. It's her birthday today and stuff like that. So they're doing birthday cake and stuff like that. So by the way, also happy birthday Tallulah, and we'll say it again later. But we've got a great show for you later, folks. We're going to be doing previews, reviews. We're going to be doing Beat the Bookie, giving you our tips and picks. We're going to be talking about Rio's comments, which will be very interesting to Del Boy and Coyle and all the Arsenal fans and stuff like that. Very interesting. We've got a little video clip and all. We're up in our game here. We got some cool slides and stuff like that. We're going to be talking about top 4. We're going to be talking about the title race. We're going to be talking about the relegation battle. All the other news. Poch linked with Chelsea. Apparently they've had talks. Imagine Poch going to Chelsea. Good Lord. Yeah, absolutely, Henry. I know, man. You're a great supporter of the channel and stuff like that. Busy with your own one, and that's the way it should be. But we're going to be talking a lot about Chelsea. We're going to be talking about Didier Drogba. We're going to be talking about Thiago Silva. Oh, we're going to knock it out of the park tonight with Thursday Tier Talk. So come back and join us again at 9:30. We will be definitely having the crack. Don't miss out. Until next time, folks, subscribe, bell notification, like on the video, of course, and we will be back to you again real soon. You will never walk alone. Come on, you Reds.